Okay, hi everybody, it's me, Bonkai922. Okay, Kaiju number 8, episode 4. Now, this one, now I know I said a few things about Shinomiya last week, but this episode kind of proved my point to a certain extent. So we left last week with Kafka reaffirming himself to continue the exam. And that's exactly what he does. Injured still, but he's pointedly going to continue. And Rito is his leg. So he's laying on top of his shoulders and he's running. Meanwhile, what's his face? The vice captain? He's like laughing his ass off. I forgot that guy's name. Oh, Yoshina? Soshishiro? Yeah. So Soshishiro's like, can't we just pass these guys for comic relief? I got a kick out of that. They're running and, trying to help where they can. Meanwhile, Shinomiya, listen, listen. Characters who act like this. Now, we do get a flashback. And I can understand now why. But still, I'm not saying it's weak sauce, but if her reason for acting this way is because of her father, then no. Sorry. But no one's perfect. Okay? Ugly, blonde, old dude. Because, she just wreck shocks everything. Until we get a different reveal. It seems like the exam is over and they announce it's over because she takes out all the other kaiju until something happens. So she's walking away, Shinomiya. I finally found out what this kaiju is. This kaiju is basically, he kind of looks like Kafka when he transformed. So he's normal, human-sized. And he's able, he shows up and he takes her out. Like, shoots something at her, and it hits her, doesn't pierce her heart, but it hurts her. And she falls down. So, yeah, probably before the fall. Sorry. And he's talking and he's intelligent, so she's surprised by this. Now, my understanding is that all kaijus that are designated with a number are very powerful and very intelligent. Hence, Kafka. He's kaiju number 8. Now, this guy is able to revive all of the kaiju that were taken out, including the one she was fighting. Now, she doesn't get any licks in. She gets really messed up by the kaiju that is revived. And the guy, just disappears. After a certain point, he disappears. And she's fighting it, and she's fighting, and she can't defeat it. And we get this flashback of when she was in junior high school, and she passed, and her father, which I believe is a big-time character, later in the show, is not impressed by it, saying how she has to be perfect. I'm like, dude, go fuck a tree. Like, really. Bearded, ugly, daddy, whatever. Anyway, he basically tells that to her and so on and so forth. And she's remembering that and trying her best to fight this thing, and it's not working. It even grows horns, and it's going to do an energy attack on her. And then Kafka shows up. And it transforms. Uh-oh! Guess the cat's out of the bag now! Well, not completely out of the bag. The only person who actually saw this was Shinomiya. So, go figure. Now, this was insane. Once again, showing off his power. You know, Kafka's power as Kaiju number 8. And they register it, because the name of the episode, this was episode 4, by the way, Magnitude or Fortitude? Wait, 1 second. Fortitude. They registered it as Fortitude 9.8. So I guess that's like the whole concept of like, with earthquakes and magnitudes, we'll just say Fortitude 9.8. So it's really, really, really powerful. And basically, the vice captain saying that's impossible, it must be a glitch, because if that's true, it's one of the most powerfulest kaijus in existence. Now, surprisingly enough, he fights this thing, he destroys it. It was a joke though, because he destroys it, bone and all, and it starts to try to revive, and he says, no, 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 no. I was like, that was such a funny freaking moment. But he's able to take it out. But he does kind of prostrate himself in front of Shinomiya, saying, don't tell anyone, don't tell anyone. What he told her later on, he was going to explain to her what happened to him. And Reno shows up, like, what did you do that for? And then basically they leave after this whole thing. And, they're able to get her back to safety and bring her back. Now, the vice captain and, what's her face again? I forgot her name. I apologize. Mina. So Mina and the vice captain do show up, and you don't see anything. Everything's been destroyed. This Kaiju's been destroyed. And the vice captain's thinking, wait a minute, this is the same thing from 3 months ago. So he's wondering, is there a connection here? Now, no one died. Everyone was fine. They're brought back. They're checked out. Shinomiya is in intensive care. And Kafka does get a visit from Mina. But she just says to Reno how, thank you for saving her and bringing her back to safety and blah, blah, blah. And that's all that happens. And then we get another scene with the vice captain and Shinomiya, and she explains that she's the one who killed that kaiju, which is a lie. But she's trying to protect his, Now we do get to see this kaiju that did the effect on them, on the other kaijus, the one that speaks and is intelligent. And he's literally, he transformed into a human. So I was like, okay, that happened. And he's actually in the disposal unit that Kafka was in. So, and from my understanding, this is kind of a spoiler territory, but I did look it up, and I was correct on what it is. It has a number. I'm not going to say what the number is, though, because it hasn't been revealed, and anime only is on these episodes. So I'm not going to say it. But overall, I thought this was a very intriguing episode. Listen, I don't hate Shinomiya, but it's good to see a character get humbled. They get humbled. They're very cocky and shit, but you understand. But at least they explain why she's like that. Okay, her father's an asshole. He's a character we're going to see, I think, later on. But he's kind of a dipshit because he's making her try to be perfect, which is next to near impossible. No one's perfect. Come on. But it was good to see that whole thing. And it was good to see Kafka. We get to see more examples of him going crazy ham as Kaiju number 8. So, overall, it was a good episode. I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10, though. I would say 9.5 out of 10. Because it did feel short to me. I don't know. Because it seemed like it was good. I liked it, but you know, yeah, 9 out of 10. It doesn't all have to be 10 out of 10. I thought it was very good. The action was great. That whole exploding and oh man, he said one punch. I'm like, what are you, One Punch Man? But it was a good episode. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I don't think because like this is I have been not exposed to spoilers with Kaiju no Rate. Kind of. Nothing major though. Like, I gotta feel like at certain anyone can figure this out. Even people who haven't seen the manga, read the manga. You gotta figure his secret's gonna get exposed eventually. And you're gonna have that whole divide. Is he a monster? Is he human? The line's gonna blur between the two. To an extent, to an extent. But overall, good episode. 9.5 out of 10. Good action. Hopefully next week we get some more action. I think next week's probably gonna be a downtown episode because this was a pretty heavy episode. So we'll see. This has been Bonkai 922. Right before the fall. Yeah, you got it. But it had to happen. And then we got this kaiju who's, yeah. I'll see you guys later.